Hello everyone, welcome to the next video lecture of electrical circuit analysis. Myself Himanshu Joshi, I am an assistant professor in Sri Labhubhai Trivedi Institute of Engineering and Technology, Rajkot. So in today's video lecture, we are going to discuss about the classification of electrical source. So basically, there is a two types of source classification. First one is independent source and second one is the dependent source. Now, independent source is again divided into two components. First one is independent voltage source, second one is the independent current source. Again, in the case of independent voltage source, that independent voltage source is divided into two further types of source. That first one is ideal voltage source and second one is the practical voltage source. Now in the same way, independent current source is also classified again into ideal current source and practical current source. So that is the classification for the independent source. Now let us talk about the dependent source. So dependent source is classified into two types of source, that is dependent voltage source and dependent current source. Now dependent voltage source is classified into two types of source, that is the current controlled voltage source CCVS and voltage controlled voltage source VCVS. Now in the same way, dependent source is also further classified into two types of source. That first one is current controlled current source CCCS and voltage controlled current source VCCS. Now let us discuss these all types of source in detail. So first one is ideal voltage source and practical voltage source. So this is the symbol for ideal voltage source that we have seen in our regular study, that is the DC voltage source and AC voltage source. Now this is the symbol for practical voltage source. Now in the symbolic representation you can see the difference between these two, that for DC voltage source or AC voltage source, this internal resistance is absent in ideal voltage source. So the basic difference between ideal voltage source and practical voltage source is that this internal resistance is absent in ideal voltage source. So we can say that for ideal voltage source, internal resistance is 0 ohm. So that is the first difference between ideal voltage source and practical voltage source, that internal resistance is absent, that means internal resistance is 0 for ideal voltage source, and for practical voltage source internal resistance is in series with voltage source, in series with either AC voltage source or DC voltage source. So the question that arises in our mind is, why internal resistance is in series with practical voltage source? So now let us discuss that what is the reason behind that internal resistance which is connected in series with practical voltage source. So we can say that this internal resistance is not a physical resistance, clear? This is the simple representation that we are going to use to differentiate between ideal voltage source and practical voltage source. To represent the losses, in terms of equivalent resistance, we are going to represent the internal losses that occurs in practical voltage source, and to represent that losses we are going to use this representation of internal resistance. So we can say that this internal resistance is imaginary, but to represent the voltage source is practical voltage source and not ideal voltage source. So that I have already said that to differentiate the practical voltage source from ideal voltage source and to represent the internal losses of practical voltage source, we are going to use the representation, and that representation is in terms of internal resistance. Now suppose that the voltage source is designed to supply the V volt. Now suppose that we have considered the voltage source and it is designed to supply the V volt. So ideally we can say that this V volt is full V volt will appear across the load. Clear? That full V volt must be appear across the load. Now that is the situation for ideal voltage source. Now if we are talking about the practical voltage source, then this full V volt is not available across the load. If you are going to measure the voltage by means of multimeter, you first check the voltage across the source and then you have to check that voltage across the load. You will find that the voltage across load is somewhat less than the voltage across the source. Clear? So that is the main difference between ideal voltage source and practical voltage source. So we can say that as the load will increase, we can say that current will also increase. As the load increases, the current will increase, and due to that increase in current, that voltage drop is also increase. So we can say that voltage drop has to be shown somewhere. We have to show that voltage drop between the source and load. So that internal resistance we have connected in series with voltage source. To represent that drop, between source and load, we will represent that drop by connecting the resistance in series with voltage source. Clear? We know that if voltage is decreased from one point to another point, then there might be some resistance connected, and due to that resistance there is a reduction in voltage, because in resistance there is a voltage drop. So again we can say that source to load voltage is decreased, and that decrement is in terms of resistance. So to define that drop, we are connecting the resistance in series with source. So that is the difference between ideal voltage source and practical voltage source. Now the question arises that why it is in series? Because it is in series because the voltage will change if there is a series circuit. Now if we connect that resistance in parallel, but we know that in case of parallel connection voltage will remain same. So we cannot connect internal resistance in parallel with the voltage source. Clear? So we must have to connect that resistance in series with voltage source. So that is the main reason that why internal resistance is in series for practical voltage source. Now second one is the ideal current source and practical current source. So this is the notation for DC current source and this is the notation for AC current source. This is the symbolic representation of ideal current source. One is the DC current source and second one is the AC current source. Now second, this is the symbolic representation of practical current source, practical AC current source and practical DC current source. Now again you can see that internal resistance for practical current source is comes with parallel connection. So we can say that for ideal current source there is no parallel connection such like in practical current source. So we can say that for ideal current source that internal resistance is infinite ohm. Now let us discuss that why internal resistance is in parallel. Sorry, over here word used is parallel. Why internal resistance is in parallel for practical current source. Now in the same manner for the voltage source we can say that current is same in series, but it will change in parallel network. So to show the current loss, a parallel resistance is connected in parallel with current source. Clear? Over here we are going to represent the voltage drop. The same way to represent the current drop or current loss, we are going to use the parallel resistance which is connected in parallel with current source. So that shows that it will consume the lost current and the remaining current which is practically seen will be delivered to the load. Clear? So whatever may be the current that will be generated from the source, that full current will not be reached to the load. There might be internal opposition that will consume the some amount of current. Now to show that internal opposition, we are going to connect the resistance which is in parallel, because current will divide if and if only there is a parallel connection. So to represent that, we are going to connect the resistance in parallel manner. Now to represent the voltage drop, we can say that voltage will divide if and if only there is a series connection. So we will connect that internal resistance in series. Now to represent the division of current or loss of current, it will possible if and only if there is a parallel connection. So we will connect the internal resistance in parallel. So for practical current source, the internal resistance is connected in parallel to determine or to show the losses of current, and that loss will occur if there is a parallel connection is there. So this is the reason that why internal resistance is in parallel for practical current source. Now next one is the current controlled voltage source. The next connection or the next type of source is current controlled voltage source. So we can see that here now we are shift towards the dependent source. We have seen the ideal voltage source, practical voltage source, ideal current source and practical current source. Now we will shift towards the dependent source. Now that first one is the current controlled voltage source. It is the CCVS. So this is the basically the symbolic representation of controlled voltage source. It is look like the quadrangle or tetragon type of symbol. So this is the symbol for ideal source, circle, and this is the quadrangle or tetragon type of symbol is used for controlled source. So the first source is current controlled voltage source. So voltage source we can identify by means of plus and minus sign, and this quadrangle or tetragon shows the controlled source. So this is the symbol for current controlled voltage source. How we can identify this is the current controlled? So first, by means of this plus and minus sign, okay, wait. So the first we have to see if it is a circle. If it is a circle, then it is independent source. Now if there is a tetragon, then we can identify that this is the controlled source. If there is a tetragon or quadrangle type of symbol, then we can identify that it is a controlled source. Now in the controlled source there are two types of source. First one is the voltage source and second one is the current source. Now if there is a plus and minus sign, then we can identify that it is a controlled voltage source. Now in case of controlled voltage source, there are two types of controlled voltage source. First one is the current control and second one is the voltage controlled. Now you have to see the value. If in the value, if it is a current, then it is current controlled voltage source. So over here we can see that here 6 into Ix, that means this is the voltage source, but it depends on Ix. This Ix is somewhere in the circuit, so it is shown over here. So we can say that the value of this voltage source is depends on current, and that current is Ix. So this is the source, this is the controlled voltage source. Now it is current controlled voltage source because its value will depends on the current. So it is a current controlled voltage source. So that is the first type of dependent source. Now second type of dependent source is voltage controlled voltage source. The first one is current controlled voltage source, second one is the voltage controlled voltage source. So again this is the symbol of controlled voltage source, it is shown over here. Now this is the voltage source, now it is final. Now which type of voltage source? Now the type of voltage source can be seen by means of value. Now this value is voltage, it is VB. So we can say that this is the controlled voltage source. Now controlled voltage source will depends on voltage. So this is the voltage controlled voltage source. This is the VB somewhere in the circuit. So if we change this VB, the value of this controlled voltage source is going to change, and that's why it is called the dependent source. Now by seeing the sign of this plus and minus, we can say that it is the controlled voltage source, and by means of seeing this value VB, we can say that this is the voltage controlled voltage source. So this is the second type of dependent source. Now let us move towards the dependent current source, controlled current source or dependent current source. So again the symbol will be arrow type. This is the quadrangle or tetragon. Now if there is a arrow sign, then we can say that this is the dependent current source or controlled current source. So again in case of controlled current source, there are two types of controlled current source. First one is the current controlled current source, second one is the voltage controlled current source. So now let's start with the first one, current controlled current source. So the first thing, if we are seeing over here tetragon or quadrangle, then we can say that it is a controlled source. Now by seeing this arrow sign, we can see that it's a controlled current source, and after observing the parameter over here, the parameter is IA and it is flowing somewhere in the circuit. So by inspection we can say that it's a controlled current source, but again it depends on current, it depends on this current IA. So this is the current controlled current source. This is the third type of dependent source, that is the current controlled current source, CCCS. Now let's move towards the last types of dependent source. Again by means of inspection we can say that it's a controlled current source, but the dependent parameter is, now we have to see over here, this is the symbol of controlled source, this is the symbol of controlled source, and by means of arrow we can say that it's a current controlled source, but after observing the parameter, this parameter is Vx. So, we can say that the value of this dependent current source is depends on this value, that is the Vx, that is somewhere in the circuit. So, we can say that this is the controlled current source, but finally we can say that this is the voltage controlled current source, because the value of this current source is depends on the voltage Vx. If this voltage is changed, then the value of this current source is going to change. So, this is the fully classification of source. So, we have seen the ideal and practical voltage source, ideal and practical current source. Next, we have seen the current controlled voltage source, voltage controlled voltage source, current controlled current source, and voltage controlled voltage source. The first one we have seen the CCVS, that is the current controlled voltage source. Next, we have seen the VCVS, that is the voltage controlled voltage source. Again, we have seen the current controlled current source and voltage controlled current source. So, with this we have concluded our session. Thank you very much. If you have any question, any query, you can give your question and query in comment section. You can message me, you can WhatsApp me, and you can give your doubts by means of email also. Thank you very much.